This isn't something that just showed up overnight and we just were rewarded with success. Re-engage with the mental side of the sport and trying to have like a no stone unturned mentality. You don't really see the day-to-day that you have to go through, and you really do have to treat it like a job.
No doubt that it feels pretty lonely, like even if you're surrounded by people. I mean, it's you and your mind and the black line at the bottom of the pool.
I don't want to have regrets when I'm older, and I want to leave everything in the pool.
Going throughout the season, you could do all the right things. You get a little bit too excited or too nervous right before a race, and everything you did for the last 10 months gets thrown to the wayside.
Had a lot of setbacks these past few years.
You know, that was hard for the reason mainly because I just thought I was invincible.
At this level, a lot of it is between your ears.
Was that allowed on camera then? If I can't ask them in the dining hall, I can ask them here.
Has everyone turned off or silenced their cell phone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Hit me with it, Beata.
All right, Ryan, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ryan, so where are you at in your career with swimming?
You're coming in hot with the heavy hitters. So I really like where I'm at in my career now. I feel like as you're coming up in the sport, I wouldn't call it insecurity, but there's just a lot of things that you don't know. You're almost naive going into most situations, where I feel like now I've been to 2 Olympics, a couple of world championships. Like, I understand how the pressure feels, like what it's like to swim in front of a crowd, how to have balance in it. So really enjoying where I'm at in the sport. And me and Ryan, this is something that, I would say both of us probably checked all of the major boxes we set out to do. And it's like, we can kind of compete with comfort knowing everything that we've done and we've accomplished. And, it's almost kind of like a 360 back to when I was, wanting it as ever as I wanted. And I just have no stress. I have no pressure. I can really give my all every single day in practice, focus on everything I need to do. And I honestly couldn't be in a better spot than I am right now. What about you, shoulder boy?
Kind of think I'm at the beginning of my career. Had a lot of setbacks these past few years. Just being patient, especially during this period of my life. I just kind of think about what my purpose is and why I'm doing everything that I'm doing. I don't want to have regrets when I'm older, and I want to leave everything that I have in the pool per se.
Coming in and doing a shoulder rehab for a couple months up here, you got to have the competitiveness to push through that and maintain sanity and keep on grinding every day.
Yeah, exactly. Today was my first day doing rows with both arms. That was hype.
Huge.
Yeah.
Butterfly.
Did a little bit of butterfly, did my first 50 butterflies. So just enjoying the little steps and coming back to the full progress.
When it's really challenging, you have to show up and just pick one thing to see as a win that day. Hey, I might not feel great today, but I'm gonna do 4 kicks off every wall in this workout, whether it be good or bad, I'm gonna do it. And then I feel like I've accomplished something when I finish. It's really breaking it down to its smallest parts and relying on the people around you that really helped me out. I don't know about you guys, but.
2019 Worlds, I was coming off a really good summer in 2018, missed the world record by less than a 10th in the 100 back. So I was going in 2019, had a great year of training. I was like, I'm gonna go crush everyone, it's gonna be sick. And then I get into the final of the 100 back, I got 4th. I lost by 1/100th to even get on the podium. That one was tough because it's that's a win that it's all right, if I didn't get a little bit too hyped mentally, I probably would have been in a position to win that one. So honestly, that's when I kind of re-engaged with the mental side of the sport of all right, going throughout the season, you could do all the right things, and then you get a little bit too excited or too nervous right before a race. Everything you did for the last 10 months gets thrown to the wayside.
Absolutely.
So that was, so that was a disappointing one for me. What about you guys?
It's not always easy. I think if I ever felt now I'm a pretty emotional person. I wear my emotions on my sleeves. I've definitely matured over the years. When I was a club swimmer, even before I got into college, I didn't really know how to manage those emotions. But if I were disappointed, I would just honestly not allow that to move past maybe 10 minutes. I put my goggles on, go into the warm down pool, allow that to be a moment for myself, and then after that I leave it in the water and I'm done.
I 100% agree with that. I allow myself after that warm down, can't be mad about it anymore. Or I guess you can, but like you can learn from what you did wrong. I think it's important to move past that moment and focus on the things that you can control going forward.
This is gonna sound weird.
No, come on.
I kind of like getting mad. Like, I don't know, like, I probably the best thing that could happen to me if, like, I'm about to race and someone wronged me right before it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And, like, even if, like, in my down points in my career, like, I liked being mad about it. Like, I liked just, like, it just consuming my thoughts. Going into 2017 Worlds, like, I just was in the ready room. I was just so in the zone. Like, I knew everything that I wanted to do was going to play out perfectly before it did. And I think that a lot of that comes from preparation. I'm a firm believer that, like, how are you going to go step up on the blocks and do something that you want to do but you've never done before unless you have kind of rewinded that tape in your head multiple times, so you kind of have some sense of experience before you go into it.
Throughout the training, you're terrified. Like, you think you're gonna lose, and that's kind of what gets you rolling every day. Like, you know, you've got to have your foot on the pedal. There's no margin for error. And, like, that's kind of the mindset as you start the season. And then you just kind of chip away at that. Like, you get a little bit better, you start building the confidence. So by the time you get up to the race, you've kind of already dealt with all the insecurities. When I can start feeling the heartbeat, like, you really get the adrenaline going, that's like money. Like, that's what you want. And then when that hits, it's like, okay, like, yeah, I'm pretty amped. I feel like I'm ready to go. I'm a nice level of excited, but I also probably wouldn't want to be more excited than this. So that's kind of the sensation that I'm getting right before.
What do you think we have in common?
I think we all do some form of backstroke.
Some form.
So, you know, mine's a little lesser than you guys, but, you know, obviously it's work ethic. You know, nobody got to the point of where we are now without, like, having a strong work ethic. This isn't something that just showed up overnight and we just were rewarded with success.
We all were once a kid who just loved to be in the water. This is so cliche, but I was talking about this the other day, like, gosh, like, I could have done any sport, like swimming specifically, you know, like, it's really a grind. It's really hard. But I found creating meaningful relationships within the community of swimming has really helped me, like going to a meet and being able to, you know, reconnect with people who I have gotten to know through travel meets or whatever it may be. It makes it feel like you're not alone, even if you kind of are. Because we kind of all are, but we kind of all aren't in a way.
That's deep.
Yeah. But I feel like swimming chose a lot of us.
We don't have, like, our calendar year is, like, it's done in early August, and you go through world trials, and that's like a 10-day affair. You go through your 3-week taper before, sometimes more, sometimes less. Then maybe you get 1 day at home, and then you're off to training camp. And, you know, training camps are regimented. Then you go to a 9-day swim meet. You know, at that time, you're pretty burnt out.
I think even just from, like, the competitive standpoint, like, I think we all know that the margins are so small. I mean, you have to be on top of everything in the water. You have to be doing the practices to the best of your ability, but you also have to be taking care of everything outside of the pool too. I think the way that I approach it is like, I see a physical therapist to try to not get injured. I talk to someone to hopefully stay ahead of stress. It's just like, there's so many different things that correlate to a good performance, and trying to have, like, a no stone unturned mentality, I feel like is a great way to go.
You know, that's probably the thing that I've learned the most, and kind of where I've come full circle around in my swimming career, where, you know, I'm pretty proactive now. I really don't take anything for granted.
Everyone, what is your definition of a win?
For me personally, if I know that I came out of the race doing everything that I wanted to do and accomplish during it, that's definitely a win.
I don't know. I think wins can look so different. Day-to-day wins are different than, like, large accomplishment, goal, achievement wins. Execution versus, like, achieving something like a time or a place that's of value to someone. But I feel like I am in the period of my career where I'm learning a lot of those things. I've been on my first couple international trips, haven't made the meets I really want to yet, but I feel like I'm working towards that.
Let's go. Damn, I thought I had it off. Hit us with your win, Chase.
A win is when you touch first. All right. For me, personally, a win is when I'm just pumped up about something. Yeah. I mean, that's a win for everybody, right? Like, doesn't even need to be swimming. Yeah. I'm pumped up about something, like, hell yeah, that's a win.
Yeah, it's honestly the same. Like, I try to have things throughout my day where it's just like, yeah, like you're treating yourself to something. Like it's small. It's like it's an espresso. Like that's a win.
Yeah.
Of all the millions of decisions you make throughout the day, like some that you just want to make the ones that you're proud of. So if I end the day satisfied, I feel like I did what I wanted to do in the practice, did everything I needed to do outside of the pool. That's a win, and then you wake up the next day motivated but not stressed out.
Yeah.